Hi everyone in English 2323, it's Dr. E and I'm here with a video where I'm just going to go through the finer points of the syllabus. I'm not going to read it word for word because that's not only boring for you, it's boring for me. But I want you to make sure you're setting aside some time at some point to go through and really dig into the different information that is in that document. It's a tool for you, so I really want you to be able to refer back to it, to be familiar with it, because it is a great view of our course. What are the guidelines and expectations? But it's also just a useful tool as a student because there are links to various resources that will help in our class, but also just in general this semester. So make sure you're seeing it as a tool that is there to help, not as just another document that has too many words on it. Okay, I'm going to show you where to find this in D2L. It will be included in the first week's module, but this is a space where it will always be available should you need a quick glance or just to access that for any reason. All right, if you go to the content area, all right, on the left-hand side, you have all these different modules. The first is going to be after start here, right? After book information, syllabus, schedule, rubrics. So if you click on that, I mean, it's already open. The document is available here. And this is where I will just start loading different elements. So for, the different assignments that we have in the semester, there will be videos and rubrics. And so this will be a space where you can access all of them just for future reference. All right, so if I go to the document itself, this is what it looks like. And so what we have here is a table of contents that you can just click to find the various information. It's a long document. I feel like every semester the requirements increase for what we have to include in this document. So having that table of contents just as a quick reference is very useful for you, for me, because it really beats scrolling through every single page to find the information that you're seeking at any given moment. So if you click on something like instructor class policies, it'll take you down to that area. And if you take a look, there are lots of images and things to kind of break up the monotony of the words, but also to kind of give you a reference of where you are in the document. All right, so as usual with these documents, you'll see the contact information for me. My email address is right here, but I say just email me via D2L. It's so easy, it comes straight to me. You don't have to worry about anything. We don't have an office location for Lone Star College Online, but we do have some space in the University Park campus. So if you are local, you can definitely set up a time to meet with me. I'm happy to do that because sometimes those face-to-face conversations can be helpful, but you can always also ask to schedule a WebEx chat, a Zoom chat, that kind of thing. And there are regular office hours, which I'm going to get to. All right, so the general office phone number is this one, but I urge you during office hours, call this. It's my Google Voice number. The general office phone goes straight to voicemail essentially, and it takes a while to process to get to me. Just utilize the Google Voice number if necessary. And it may be useful to plug it into your phone because there will be times in the semester if you kind of disappear for a while, I'm going to reach out via that phone number, send you a text or something just to make sure everything is okay. All right, so the student success hours, which are, what we call office hours, are Monday through Wednesday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., and those will be available in the WebEx area. And then Thursday from 12 to 1 p.m., that will be in the D2L instant messages. So when you watch the D2L walkthrough video, this will be explained in a little bit more detail. And if you have questions, just let me know. All right, and then contact information for the person at the head of the Lone Star College Online. And then we have to include all the necessary information regarding the course, important dates. There's a link to the final schedule. There is a course overview, which is standard. It comes from our catalog, but I have my own kind of additions here. If you want to take some time to look through that, it can be helpful. You want to make sure that you have completed English 1301 and 1302. Those are prerequisites for the course. There's a note here that, we have an online experience here and it requires about 8 hours of online instruction per week. Now that is not a standard. That's just kind of on an intense week, that's what to expect, right? Based on how long it takes to complete the readings, how long it takes to complete the work, all of that, right? So it's going to fluctuate, it's going to change, and it's really going to depend on which class you're considering, right? So we just want to give you an idea of, because we don't meet face-to-face in person for 6 hours a week, you still need to commit that time, right, to the courses. So just to give you an idea. You may want to take some time to look through the technology requirements just to make sure that you are ready to go, have all the tools necessary. We do have a list here of some of the, make sure that you have an understanding of file management, basic keyboarding. I'm assuming that many of you do if you've chosen to utilize an online course environment, but it's not a bad thing just to kind of revisit and make sure that we're all on the same page when it comes to the skills for the course. I'm going to pause for just 1 second. My apologies, I had a cat who made an unexpected visit, so bear with me. All right, so if we go back to the document here, it just, again, has some links that'll be useful to you throughout the semester. If you want the mobile app for D2L, which is D2L Brightspace, right, you can click there for more information. A link to the Virtual Learning Assistance Center, so helpful. Make sure you're bookmarking that. And then it has information about accessing our text. And the links here, I've double checked that they work, but let me know if you come across any trouble. That information is also in D2L. And then we get to the grades and see how our grades are broken down. So a majority of the grades, and we're working with points, that's just the easiest way to have the grade book structured. A majority is going to be kind of the weekly work, right? The discussions, participation, we'll be doing things called mind maps, quizzes. So that's a lot of effort on your part, so you should get credit for that, right? You should get grades for that. So that is going to be just a big chunk of the course. And then we have a writing collection that you'll do, and then a final multimedia project. So everything with an asterisk will end up with its own kind of rubric and video, so don't feel overwhelmed. The collection is pretty straightforward. It's actually revisiting things that you've already written throughout the semester. So that's in lieu of a full-blown research essay. It is research, it's a lot of writing, but it's not necessarily what we would consider an essay. So don't get too stressed about that. And then the multimedia project comes at the very end of the semester, and it's lots of fun. So don't worry. Here's a grade chart just if you're a more visual person. And here we have a breakdown of those different areas. So if you want to take some more time to kind of run through that, get a sense of what that writing collection is, the multimedia project, you can do that. And then if we scroll down, we get to some of the course policies. So it's really important to kind of know that whether you're new to online courses or not, your participation is necessary, right? I'm sure you all know that, again, regardless of your experience. You being present on a weekly basis is going to positively impact your grade. I've looked at the numbers across several semesters, and those students who are more engaged completing that weekly work do better statistically by far than the students who are kind of just checking in every once in a while. Those students who log in more frequently throughout the week get better grades, right? And that's not necessarily because, oh, those are the smarter students. It's because they are actively ensuring that they know what's going on every week. They're double checking due dates. They're double checking assignments. They're just becoming more familiar with D2L and with the course. So just something to keep in mind. All right, we have information about the drop date. So I put, if you do not attend class or participate in academically related activity by the official day, which is, pretty close to the beginning of the semester, I have to drop you. So if you're watching this video, chances are you are participating. So I'm not super worried, but just in case. And then if we scroll down, if you have course questions or concerns, there is a Q&A discussion post area in D2L. And then if you do have some individual questions or concerns, you can email me via D2L, or of course we can touch base virtually or in person. If you're emailing me, please let me know your name, the course name, specific details. I can't tell you how many emails I get from students that give me no information. I don't know what class you're in. Are you in my British Lit classes? Are you in my writing classes? It's not helpful, right? Unless I know who you are, and it's going to take me some time to kind of connect your name to a specific course. So please, for all your professors, just help us out a little bit by giving us that information when you're communicating with us. There is a student-only chat area in the discussion board, and that's just for you. That's just a way for you to communicate with one another if you want to set up little groups, group chat, that kind of thing, share phone numbers. Late work is something that can be a struggle. So I do have a 48-hour grace period that's in place. So if you have a mind map that's due on a Thursday, it's due on that Thursday, but you have an additional 48 hours from the original due date and time to submit the work. Comes with a grade deduction or a grade reduction, but anything is better than a 0. Anything, I promise you. So make sure that you're keeping in mind, you don't want to always use that 48-hour grace period because, you know, chances are something may happen. You can't get the work submitted on time. And in your mind, you're going, well, you know, this is the 48-hour grace period, but just be on the safe side, turn your work in as soon as you're able, as close to the deadline as possible, right? This is not something that extends to the discussion posts because those are more like real time for us. Those are chances for us to communicate and kind of converse about what we are doing in that specific week. And when those are posted late, it's just nobody's paying attention anymore. We're moving on to the next discussion. So those do have strict kind of deadlines. So again, this is where logging in frequently comes into play because those are weekly kinds of items. All right. We want to make sure that we're respecting one another. And with an online environment, we need to kind of push that a little bit, that we can't see one another's faces. We don't have eye contact or body, language. We can't read one another in the same way as we could if we were face to face. So our tone is going to be very important. So before you click submit on any discussion posts, whether those are D2L or backpack or anything, just double check your tone and make sure, if I were somebody reading this, outside of my head, would they take offense? Is this too harsh? Is this judgmental? Is this, coming across as being just not respectful? Because our tone is going to be the only thing that carries us, right? Because we don't have that face-to-face time and contact. All right, and we are, of course, a diverse community, and we need to make sure that we're respecting one another's identities. If there are any comments or jokes about any person for anything based in identity, please let me know if it's something that I haven't seen yet, perhaps, and I'll address that because it's not okay. I'm sure we'll have a welcoming class environment, so that's just a kind of just in case, as is the notes for diversity, equity, inclusion. And then there's some notes on plagiarism. I deal with plagiarism every semester. Don't let it be you, right? Review, at this point, you should have gone through 1301 and 1302 and be familiar with what plagiarism entails. If you have questions, definitely let me know. But you also have some links here that are helpful to, provide refreshers. And then we get into all the student support services areas. And this is, again, where some of these links will come in handy for any of these and for any classes you're taking, right? So for tutoring, if you want to connect with librarians, any kind of student services can be found here. And then we have links to the college policies, which are varied and lengthy, right? But if you have a specific question about, is this a Title IX infraction that I'm experiencing in another class, or if I need to make an academic appeal, you just have all of that information kind of in one space. Okay, that's just a very quick run through of the syllabus. But like I said, please make sure you're taking some time to really go through it. Let me know if you find any errors or any issues. I welcome that kind of feedback and peer reviewing, but also let me know if you have any just general questions or concerns. All right, so take care and moving on to the next video, right?